if you're picking one player to build your franchise around, is it Haliburton or Brunson?
I mean, that's a question for Joel. Joel, you're a playoff guy.
I know your answers first.
No. Whoa. I had already said Brunson many times. I remember last year I was super impressed.
It's not Brunson though.
But no, hold on, Ron, because we don't know Ron because this is what I don't like. I don't like this when we 2 months ago. If we would have had this conversation at the end of the regular season, it would have been Brunson going away. And even for Ron would have been up here. Ron, stop it. Ron, you would have been up here talking about, well, you would have done your impersonation. No way.
New information, though, Ron. Ron, this is the new information that we have.
It was new information last year. I've been telling y'all when it comes to the difference between me and you guys, when it comes to point guards, is I want a point guard.
When have you ever said Hallie was better in the playoffs? When have you said Hallie was better in the playoffs?
When have I ever said that Brunson was better than Hallie?
When have you ever? Because you just said, hold on. When have you ever said?
There's no way he takes Jalen over Haliburton.
After last playoffs, would you have made the same argument?
Yes, I've never had Brunson over Haliburton.
Sorry, respectfully, I don't believe it.
I
don't remember this conversation at all last year. But maybe I wasn't here.
I think he's and this is I'm reiterating things that I've said.
You think he's the second best point guard?
I think he's the second best distributor in the NBA. I think Trae Young is first. I think I'm
Passer?
about to get to my point. Can you stop asking me questions? Can I answer the first question?
As you were saying, Ron.
I think he's the second best passer in the NBA.
Behind Trae
Young, Tyrese Haliburton. And so my thing is, with a point guard, I want my point guard to pass the ball at a high level. I will never take a scoring point guard for the most part. Luka and SGA, we can keep them out of this. They're in other tiers. There's the exception because not only do they pass at a high level, but they score with the best of them. So I'll keep Luka and SGA out of this.
What about Steph Curry?
Steph as well. I'll keep Steph out of this too.
Well, your list keeps getting longer. So who? Wait, Ja Morant. What about him?
No, as you were saying, Ron. Keep going, Ron. As you were saying,
Steph's name just doesn't come in these conversations because he's just in a whole different tier, all around. But my point is, I always want my point guard to pass at a high level. I would never take Jalen Brunson over Haliburton. I pass miles better than you. It's galaxies. B, I play defense better than you. C, I'm bigger than you. D, I shoot better than you as well. And we just talking about the 3-ball, catch and shoots and stuff like that. And then obviously Brunson has the scoring gap. But as we seen last night with Haliburton, and we've been seeing this the whole playoffs, when Haliburton dials it up, it ain't really no point guard that's really messing with Haliburton.
Chill. Maybe I've missed this whole thing. I did not see this.
Ron's always been high on Haliburton.
I know, but not like this. This is a whole different thing. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. This is a whole different thing.
Before you got here, I was I started the Haliburton.
That was PC. That was PCBBS. That was PC before Swiper. I don't remember all your takes. You're right.
Swiper, you're trying to pull a heist where you're trying to come in and take credit for the house that I built.
I know. I hear you. You've been big on Hallie, but like
built this house.
This Hallie Brunson thing.
You are trying to take. That's all I'm saying. Take squatting rights. That's what you're trying to do.
No, Ron, relax. Ron, you had Tyrese going out in the first round. Relax. God, relax.
You did have him going out in the first round, and pretty convincingly, by the way.
And you had Jokic going out in the first round. So you know what that means?
But your guy is Giannis, though. Your guy is. You just said last week, though. You just said literally last week that this is your mistress, and your wife is the Bucks and Giannis, though. You just said that to us.
Yes,
but you got to remember too. You got to remember who you're dealing with. Sniper. You got to remember this.
You didn't choose your wife.
You gotta remember you
didn't choose your wife.
You chose a random chick on the corner over your wife. That's crazy.
And I should be.
Maybe she do something crazy.
Ron, I'm gonna issue an apology, Ron, because again, I think I said two.
My bad.
I think I said 2 or 3 years ago that, and if they end up beating the Knicks and end up in the NBA Finals, and then they end up winning the thing, because we might have to talk about the Indiana Pacers being the NBA champs. Oh shit. I mean, that's not something that none of us had on our bingo card. Any of y'all who say that y'all did, you lying. None of us had that on our bingo card.
You had him as the champs.
You lying. None of Ron, knock off the
Y'all such a liar, bro. I'm sorry. I can't let y'all do this with Ron. Ron was not like this. Ron, you did not have this energy all year.
It was not.
Into the first round, you thought it was going to be a dog walk.
I did not think it was going to be a dog walk.
You thought they were winning like 4-1.
Y'all can go back and find the clips. Yes, I chose to walk over the Pacers.
Okay.
But and Chill jumped on me multiple times throughout this year when I said, A, we'll beat the Cavs. And I know you remember that, Swipe, because you was here. And B, I said, we'll beat the Boston Celtics. And that's when Chill lost his mind. Ron, cut it out. There's no way you think the Pacers can beat the Celtics. So, A, if I think they can beat the Cavs.
So you thought the Bucks were winning it all at that point then? This is when you had the Bucks.
Yes.
Oh, I got you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like.
Okay. Okay.
OG, who you take, Haliburton or Brunson?
I hate to step in and interrupt this intense yap session that you're currently watching, but I just have to inform you on all the amazing, spectacular, fabulous, endless ways to play and win over at Prize Picks. Basketball fans, I know the season is just tipping off. Yes, I know this. But you know what that means? It means that you have an opportunity to pick your favorite players and their matchups that are the most thrilling, and you can win money from these. With Prize Picks, you can play daily NBA contests and test your hoop knowledge by choosing the player projections and every single stat line imaginable to make your Prize Picks and take home some nice hard-earned cash. Are you a rookie in the game? Don't even sweat it. I got the playbook for you right here. All you have to do is download Prize Picks, use promo code PANEL, and you will get $50 instantly when you play 5 here with Prize Picks. So what are you waiting for? Download Prize Picks, use promo code PANEL, and join me as we break down all of our amazing daily picks right here on the panel. Prize Picks. Run your game, control your game, win your game. It's easy, baby. It's easy.
And see, that's the thing about Ron. The way that I think about point guards, because Ron, to your point, the way that I think about point guards, who are the point guards that I love?
Wasn't right.
Stockton, Magic, Jason Kidd, Steve Nash. I love those league guards. And Haliburton is everything that I love about a point guard. But I live in this era where I've gotten brainwashed into believing that the scoring league guard is better. I've gotten tricked into thinking that the Damian Lillards and the Trae Youngs of the world, even though Trae Young does pass a lot better than plenty of other guards, but as a lead guard, Ron, I think Brunson is a better player. I'm taking Haliburton as the lead guard though.
What?
I think Brunson is.
He said who's better, so Brunson's a better player.
Brunson is a better player.
You'd rather have Brunson
as a lead guard. I'm taking Haliburton over him. Yes, I am.
So I don't know why this is so
my logic has been
because I'm telling you, a month before the playoffs started, this was a unanimous.
No. I think Brunson is better. I think Brunson is a better player, and I'm never going to argue that. Brunson 100% is a better player.
But that's what we're arguing. Who's the better player?
Just like Steph Curry is a better player than John Stockton. I'm taking John Stockton over Curry as a league guard.
No, that's not what the question was.
Who would you rather take to build your franchise around?
Start your team. So
just say the answer. Which one?
Haliburton.
Oh my
god. I think Jalen Brunson is better than Tyrese. But if you're starting your franchise, I think you have to take Tyrese over JB. I don't think by me saying I have to take Tyrese is saying that he's better than Jalen Brunson. I think he can just do more. He's bigger, better defender. He can score and distribute. So you got to go with him because it's you got a better chance of building a competent basketball team. If you know what I'm saying, if you're starting just from scratch, I'm not going to pick a 5'11" point guard with no D that can't really play D like that. Like I'm taking the big dude that can play D, shoot, and run the floor. And I remember, well, that's the thing too. Y'all call me a Tyrese Haliburton hater, and I was the one talking about Tyrese can play D, and everybody said, "No, Tyrese isn't a defender. It's reputation or something." I didn't know that he wasn't a good defender until y'all told me.
Brunson is only better because of his scoring. I think Brunson, he gets to these modes where he can take over as a scorer, and Haliburton just doesn't do consistently. Brunson has averaged 30 points per game in the playoffs over the last 3 seasons. I feel like that can't get overlooked, and he's gone up against some elite level defenses. Haliburton does have the advantages with the playmaking and the defense. So if you want to build a team that is not a liability defensively, then you probably go with Haliburton. I think they're in the same tier though, and I would take Brunson because I just believe he's a better player, and I do think if the Knicks had more depth around him, then he kind of.
We talking about a guy. This is what we doing, Swiper. We talking about giving the basketball to this guy, and he's running your crew, as opposed to this guy who is a better player, right? He is.
I don't even think he's a better player. I don't even like y'all saying that.
I'm giving the basketball to if I want to do the run.
Ron, we got $100 super chat, Ron. You gonna take it off the screen? You're not going.
Chill making his point.
Go ahead. I'm just saying, don't take it off.
What I'm saying, Swiper, is give the basketball to this guy, and he's running my crew, as opposed to this guy who I know I'm gonna get buckets from him. Am I gonna get the right play? Am I gonna get the better distributor? Am I gonna get the guy who's more in control of the offense? Am I gonna get that guy? Am I gonna get the better ball handler? Am I gonna get that guy, or am I gonna go with the dude who's just a better bucket getter who can get downhill?
Who also had 3 straight 40 in 10 games in the playoffs.
I'm not arguing that. Right, I'm not arguing that point. I'm talking about the guy who I'm going to be the steadiest with, and if I'm going with the guy I'm going to be the steadiest with, I'm giving the ball to Tyrese Haliburton.
I also want y'all to know, if Haliburton was on the Knicks, they would be a better team too. You drop Haliburton in New York, and he's you guys' starting point guard. Josh Hart looks way better,
especially the way he moves off the ball. With that Tibbs offense, they don't run as much.
Yeah, I'm saying Haliburton to get the boys moving. They'll get the buckets that he'll get Karl Anthony Towns. Yeah, Karl Anthony Towns to be out here looking like Joel Embiid. We know he'll get that boy so many open looks. Josh OG and Mikal Bridges.
Well, let's play this game, Ron. After the super chat, how many offenses would be better if you replaced Hallie, the best player in that team, with Hallie? And we'll do that after.
Now, but when you ask that question, you got to base it upon the coaching and the style of play they have. You can't, you know what I'm saying? Because if you got Tyrese over there and they're playing the same way the Knicks are playing, then no, they're not going to be better because he can't score like Jalen Brunson. But if you put him over there and you send Britt Carlisle over there with him, then yeah, they're a much better basketball team.
I don't even want to. We don't got to add the coaching scene. We can keep the same play style.
Oh, well, then they're worse.
I'm gonna tell you why I believe that they'll be better. Because one, Haliburton has shown us he's a better scorer than we give him credit for. But two, he don't gotta give you 30 and 40 point games every single night. The thing about it is he's gonna have the ball in his hands, and his job is to make a play. It's not necessarily to shoot a shot, it's to make a play. So on the decisions where Jalen Brunson decides to shoot a step back three, that might be Hallie giving you a heavy, getting downhill and getting somebody open for a shot.
Ron, but you can't pass it to nobody if they're not moving, Ron. They're standing and watching. They're standing and watching. That's their offense. They're standing and watching. Ron, you know,
why are they
you know, because that's the offense that they run.
They're standing and
what do you mean no? What do you mean no? They're not.
That's
not a thing, Ron. They're standing and watching because that's the offense they run. They're not standing and watching just because, bro. Like what makes you think they're just gonna stop moving or start moving?
SGA, his teammates stand and watch him because they know he's shooting the ball. Luka, his teammates stand and watch him because they know he's dribbling the shit out the ball. LeBron, same thing. All of these heliocentric players, the teammates stand and watch because the ball is just in your hand. I can't stand and watch if I know I'm about to get the ball.
So why would OKC's offense not be better with Hallie than with SGA?
You could still have a silly.
Hold on. Answer that question. Why would?
It would be.
OKC's offense?
Yes.
OKC's taking a dip, but
I was with you. So wait a minute. So wait, did you, Ron? I want you to realize where you're going. I want you to realize where you're going because now if you're saying with all those defenders, their defensive floor wouldn't change. I don't think more like they would do the same thing to SJ. Just put him on the worst player. Just put him on Jaden or whatever. Just hide him over there, and then we're gonna have all these defenders. If you're saying that the offense for OKC would be better, you're also saying OKC would have a better team because their defense wouldn't change.
The drop off wouldn't be much if there is a drop off.
So you think he's close? No. So I want you to functionally understand. You think he is close to SGA as a player then based on that same logic. Because the issue is, if their defense isn't going to drop because they're still going to put Caruso and Dub and Dort and Chet and all of them on the floor, and then their offense will be better with Hallie because of the passing, playmaking, and an upscale on the scoring, you're also saying that there's not a big gap. There's not a gap, really. There's a marginal gap between them as players purely based on defensive value.
Well, SGA is a better defender. Obviously, he's a better scorer. And he is the better player.
Why is he a better scorer?
My thing is, what do you mean? Why is he a better scorer?
You just said that Hallie can. You just said I'm going back to what you said. You said that Hallie can upscale his scoring, and Hallie, to be fair, has upscaled his scoring very well in clutch situations, especially in fourth quarters and in fourth quarters overtime, and in the clutch situation throughout the playoffs this year. Throughout the playoffs, and he just had maybe the first or third best, whichever one, best offensive performance of the playoffs so far, better than any offensive performance that the SJ's had so far. So I'm saying that, like, if he can upscale the scoring to near that level, then like what is the actual gap?
I don't think he'll ever uptick his scoring to SGA levels. I think that's but what if he was the point guard of OKC, he wouldn't be asked to do that. They got guns over there. Like, J-Dub is like, you put J-Dub and Hallie next to each other, you know what Haliburton's doing for J-Dub?
Yes, but Ron, the difference is J-Dub.
26 points per game guy.
The difference is, Ron, J-Dub is cutting. J-Dub is moving. I just want to, because we started our conversation, and then, Swiper wanted to try to cook you, so we got away from that. Just
context.
All right, my bad, Joels. What I'm saying, Ron, is if you're gonna say that these players would cut, if they had a different player, it's not just the offense, then I gotta put some of this on those guys. Then I gotta say now that Jalen Brunson isn't a good facilitator because his guys aren't cutting for him.
Is that fair, Ron?
No, he's just not looking to facilitate.
Yeah,
but he would look to facilitate if dudes would move without the ball more, right? I mean, that's because. Yes, I would say so because you said that these guys would cut more, so I got it's got to go.
I didn't necessarily say that they would cut more. What I did say is they would move without more because Haliburton. No, I said that they would get the ball more because Haliburton would be moving the ball. In the pick and roll situation where the defense does have to help and stuff like that, you got to help. Either if Cat's rolling to the hoop, you got to help. If Mitchell Robinson's rolling to the hoop off a Haliburton pick and roll, you got to help. What does that mean? Right. Haliburton coming off that pick and roll, skipping the ball to open people. He coming in transition, getting the ball up early to guys. Jalen Brunson just doesn't do it at that level. When Jalen Brunson has the ball, Josh Hart, OG, and Mikal Bridges, I'm almost sure are like, this dude is shooting the ball. With Haliburton, you don't have that mindset. You're like, I know the ball is going to come to me, and if not, I need to be ready if the ball does come to me because he's moving this motherfucker. Karl Anthony Towns would get the
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that.
Karl Anthony Towns would feast. I'm telling you, he would look like Joel Embiid.
When you talk about the skip passes off the pick and roll and whatnot, I can see your logic. It makes much more sense when you know what I'm saying when we break it down and talk ball. So I get where you're coming from. I still do think that Tom Thibodeau would hinder Tyrese Haliburton.
To your point, Ox,
we're not playing him too many minutes.
Really quickly, Joe.
You playing 50.
Point, Ox, as a big fella, you're gonna post up harder if you know I'm getting you. I'm looking for you. You're gonna ask for the ball.
Well,
if you know that I'm coming to you. So as a wing player, as a guy that plays off the ball, I'm gonna cut harder to the basket. I'm coming off screens harder because I know you looking for me. There's gonna be more action. Just say I'm not even talking about reconfiguring the offense. I'm not even talking about I'm just talking about we're just out here and we rocking. If I know you looking for me, I'm cutting to the basket harder. I'm asking for the ball differently, as opposed to I might get the ball this trip. We might get 2 or 3 trips where I don't get the ball. I'm running with Hallie. Yo, Ox, I'm putting my head down.
So you think?
I hear what you're saying. And like I know that's right. And I know that's supposed to be the logic, but I can't answer that question because I can't relate to that shit because I'm gonna show my hands and post up and give you a target so that it can never be my fault. You know what I'm saying? Like it can never.
Ox, where if I miss you 2 or 3 trips, you're like, damn, yo, Bring the ball over.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be. I'm definitely gonna be like, I wish this thing would pass, but I'm still not gonna sit around and pat. I still got to play ball because it can never be my fault. I got to make sure I'm doing what I got to do, and so that's why I believe what you're saying is correct, but I can't relate to that. I can't say yes or no to that because I just think that's some crybaby shit. You know what I'm saying? I just can't get behind it. It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.